Hey guys, today's video I wanted to talk about a lot what I've talked about previously in calories in versus calories out, all the fat loss stuff that I've been going on about over the past few weeks. As simple as calories in versus calories out sounds, if it was that simple, it would all be very attainable, we'd all get to our goals. We'd all be lean, we'd all be bulked, we'd be where we want to be. So it would make these videos pointless. So my point being is, it's not that simple. So what you might find is, some individuals, when they drop their calories down and they go into a genuine calorie deficit, as I've spoken previously about it, like the body subconsciously makes you lazy. With some individuals, when they do drop their calories down, their body will make them lazier than the next individual. So what they might have to do to counteract this is either go hard on their NEAT. Remember, I mentioned this in previous videos, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is the calorie expenditure that we have from just day-to-day living. And it's the fidgeting, it's the standing, it's the moving, it's the generally being active throughout the day. What you might find is that NEAT energy drops right down. And because of that, despite being in a calorie deficit, you still don't lose the weight you want to lose, or I should say the fat that you want to lose. So that's what I mean by going in hard with NEAT. So you might have to really add on a ton of steps to your already kind of average step count. Or you go in at a harder calorie deficit to again counteract that drop in your NEAT activity levels. This is something to take into account. This is why I talked about tracking your progress the other week. If your progress is not going the right way, that could be one of those factors. The other thing is, are you actually in a calorie deficit? And this goes back to those methods. Some methods are more accurate than others. Some are less accurate than others. Some are more practical than others. Some are less practical. So you have to find that method that works for you. And if this method that you're using is fairly inaccurate, i.e. guessing, lots of studies have shown that if you're just estimating your calorie intake, you can overestimate by 50%. That's an enormous amount. So if you're overestimating your calorie intake, then we need to get a bit more accurate, or we need to find a measure that really takes into account that we could be overestimating our calorie intake. The other thing is, if you are using one of the more accurate ways of calorie tracking, i.e. MyFitnessPal, that's a fantastic example of how to have a fairly accurate ballpark figure as to what you are eating. Then you might need to be a bit more meticulous. Are you measuring things, for example, like sauces, olive oil? So that's where meticulousness might have to come into play there. So there's a lot of method to everyone's madness when it comes to making sure that they're in a calorie deficit. This is why tracking is so important in terms of progression tracking. Are you getting there? Is it all worth it? That sort of thing. Thanks for watching.